Yeah. So what you're going to do here is you're going to plug into your calculator 15 to the 0 power. Do you know how to plug that into a calculator? You go 1, 5, and then is it a caret key or a y to the x? I think it's a caret. Is it this one? Yeah. Do you have that key? Yeah. Okay, so you're going to go 15, that button, 0, enter. It says 1. Interesting. I don't know why it's called a caret. Do this one. 1 to the 0 power. What do you get? 1. Anything to the 0 power is 1. Plug in 5 to the negative second and then 2 to the negative second and tell me what you get there. 0.04 and 0.5. What do you notice about those? They're not negative, but you plugged in a negative exponent. That's interesting. What else do you notice? Are they nice numbers? They're decimals, right? They're a fraction, if you will. You could turn that into a fraction very easily. So that's what I want you to see here. Anything to the negative or to the 0 power is 1. That's the first property we're going to talk about. Okay, 0 as an exponent. When you plug something into the 0 power, it is always 1. Okay? Yeah.
What if it's a negative?
A negative number to a 0 power? Still 1. The only thing that doesn't work is 0 to the 0 power. Okay? What? Well, you don't know these other properties yet. So the property that I always use to explain this is if you take like x to the 3rd power divided by x to the 3rd power, okay? There's a rule that you're going to learn in a few days that says when you're dividing, you actually subtract those. So x to the 3 minus 3 is x to the 0. But this, right, x to the 3rd divided by x to the 3rd, something divided by itself is always what? 1. So that property of exponents makes it so that if you take something to the 0 power, it is always 1. We haven't learned that property yet, but we'll get there. But that's why it works this way. But the only one is 0 to the 0 is just technically undefined. We won't use that one, okay? Then look at these ones. Those negative powers. If you take something to a negative power, we don't like negative powers. So what we do is we flip it. So it was a numerator. We make it a denominator and we make it positive, and that's what it does. 1 over a to the n power. So if I have 5 to the negative 2nd power, like we did up top, that's the same as saying 1 over 5 to the positive 2nd power. What's 5 squared? Are you done? 25. 25. So this is 1 over, thank you, 25. That's what this number is, 0.04. If you plug into your calculator 1 divided by 25, it's 0.04. Okay? So that's what these exponents are going to do. So if I take 2 to the negative 1st power, and I want to rewrite that without a negative exponent, how would I write it? 2 to the positive 1st power, right? So the flipping it takes away the negative. So 1 over 2 to the 1st is 1 over 2, which is 1/2, which is what we got when we plugged that into our calculator, right? 0.5 is 1/2. Okay? So those are the properties we're going to be looking at right now. So look at this first example. 9 to the negative 2nd power is what? What goes on top of my fraction? 1, right? 1 over 9 to what power? The 2nd power, right? You make the power positive when you move it down. 1 over 9 to the 2nd is 1 over what? 81. If you don't know 9 squared, you can plug 9 squared into your calculator, okay?
On a test, do we need to do this, or can we just put this into the calculator, 9 to the negative 2nd power?
No, you're not going to plug it in. You're going to show me how you got there. Because the calculator's gonna give you a decimal anyway, and I wanna see your process, so you have to show me the fraction version of it. Don't just turn it into a fraction from your calculator. Like, I wanna see the process. I wanna see you understand that it's switching things around. What's -5 to the 0 power? 1. Anything to the 0 power is 1. What is 3 to the -2nd power? 1 over 3 to the +2nd power.
Wait, so you don't put like the fraction in your calculator?
You're not going to plug any of this into your calculator. I mean, if you need to check what 3 squared is, then plug 3 squared in. But
Okay.
yeah.
The one that is not seen except when you say a positive.
And then you still keep the one on top.
Essentially, we're taking the reciprocal, right? 3 to the -2nd over 1. Flip it. Bring the 1 up. Move that 3 to the -2nd down. I don't know what you're asking me.
You see how it says 3 to the -2nd?
Right.
And when we put it over a fraction, that's like the sign switch.
What do you mean over a fraction? When I turn that into a fraction, like make it over 1? Yeah. Then do what?
We like switch the sign.
So when I move it down, I got to move a 1 up here, or there's nothing on top, right? But when you move it down, it takes away the negative. Is that what you're asking me? Okay. Yeah. Okay, 6 to the -1st power. This is like 1 over what? So the +1st power. What is 6 to the 1st power? 6. So this is 1/6. Okay. -4 to the -2nd power is 1 over what? -4 to the 2nd power, okay? Take the negative away from the exponent and the exponent only. What happens when you square a negative? It becomes positive, so 1 over 16. Okay? Okay, now, along those lines, because this gets done wrong all the time. All the time. It's so tricky. -4 squared versus -4 squared. Do you know the difference?
Well, the difference is you put it red.
Right, what are the parentheses telling you?
Oh, it's times it by itself. -4 times.
You're multiplying -4 times itself. -4 times -4. So when there are parentheses and we're squaring it, should it ever be negative? No, because when you square a number, it is positive, right? So this is a positive 16, whereas this one is saying the opposite of 4 times 4, right? The opposite of 4 squared. Well, 4 squared is 16. What is the opposite of 16? -16. So this one should be negative. That negative is the last thing you do. This one, the parentheses mean you take -4 times -4, okay? So what does this equal? -7 squared. -49. It is the opposite of 7 squared, so it's the opposite of 49. What does this one equal? A positive 64. It is -8 times -8, which if you plug that into your calculator, you get 64. Here's the thing, you guys. If you plug this into your calculator, it's going to tell you -49. If you plug this with parentheses into your calculator, it's going to tell you 64. So when in doubt, plug it into your calculator with or without your parentheses, whatever they tell you to do, okay?
Oh, you meant so like if the number, cause like it's like a negative, if it's like a negative like 8, and if the exponent's like a -2, but it doesn't have the
With no parentheses.
yeah. It's
The negative in front can stay with the number if there's no parentheses, but the -2 is just going to move it down. The exponent is going to move it down. So negative exponent moves it. The negative out in front makes it the opposite. Am I answering your question there? Okay. Okay, so take a look at letter A here. This is 5a to the third b to the negative second. One of those things has to change. Which one? We don't ever want negative exponents, right? How do I make this not have a negative exponent?
Like that.
Move it down, right? So it's going to be 5a to the third is fine there, but this is going to be b to what power? The second power. Yeah. So we're moving it down and making it positive.
And that's the answer?
And that's the answer.
Oh.
Okay? Okay, now this one looks backwards from what we've been doing, but you do the same thing. If it's in the bottom, you're going to move it up to make it positive. If it's in the top, you're going to move it down to make it positive. So what does this simplify to? X to the fifth power, right? The 1 doesn't change. If it's over 1, that's fine. But you're not going to necessarily move the 1 unless it has a negative power associated with it, okay? It's just x to the fifth power. C we're going to skip because I haven't taught you one of the properties yet, so just scribble that one out. Look at D. What needs to move? Both of them. So x to the negative fifth needs to go down and be positive. Y to the negative 6 moves down and becomes positive. What's on top?
1.
A 1. Okay? Okay, now this one, they're both negative. What do you got to do? Flip them both, right? The y is going to go up, make it positive. The x is going to go down, make it positive. That is your answer. What do you do for F? Yeah. Put a 1 over top. X to what power? The positive 9th power. Okay? The negative exponent moves it down. Okay, G. What needs to move?
Wait, what do you do if one of them is positive?
If it's positive, it just stays where it is.
So
So like this bottom one is positive, right? That has to stay as a denominator. M squared. Okay? What happens with n to the negative fifth? Move it down. Okay? N to the positive fifth. What's on top? If there's nothing up there, it's a 1 that you put on top. Okay? A negative exponent cannot stay. You make it positive by moving it from a numerator to a denominator or a denominator to a numerator. Look at H. Yeah.
the order of like, you move it down to the order, matter like if it's like.
I always do alphabetical order, but it really doesn't matter. Okay, this one. What needs to move? Not 4C. Just C, right? It's not, if it was like this, then the 4 would have to move also. We haven't learned that property yet. But it is just C to a negative right now. Okay, so your numerator still has 4B. You need to make it over C to what power? The third, the positive third power. Okay. All right, letter I. Last one. What do you do? Move a to the negative third up and make it 2a to the positive third power. Okay, don't flip it and put the 2 on the bottom. There is no negative exponent with your 2. So that needs to stay put. Okay, you only move it if there's a negative exponent with it. Any questions on that? It's kind of fun, right? Isn't this fun? I think it's fun.